What's going on, everybody? How you out there doing on this great Sunday afternoon? Good basketball day. May 15th, end of the month, middle of the month, I should say. You have to excuse me, but I'm feeling good. I'm on meds, and I'm just enjoying my day today. Hopefully, you're having a great Sunday. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, it was raining earlier. It's a nice, lazy Sunday, and it's NBA playoffs, games number 7s. How good is that? So hopefully everybody's having a great time. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk for Real Men. We are on live every Wednesday and every Sunday. Wednesdays at 8 p.m., Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are part of the TFG platform of shows. And if you're interested in subscribing to not just the Real Talk for Real Men show, but any of the content from TFG, such as TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes and all of the bevy of other shows, sports and religion, you name it, you can subscribe to TFG TV on YouTube and Facebook. And since my show, Real Talk Real Men, we talk grown talk, you can find us on TFG Ratchet and Uncut because we talk real. We get honest and real and adult. So welcome to another edition. Let me bring in my co-host, as always. This is McMack from Memphis, Tennessee. What's up, McMack?
What's going on, Black? How are you?
I am medicated up and just making it to the day. How are you doing today, sweetheart?
I am so tired. Do I look tired? I feel so tired. I'm so exhausted.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. Well, thank you for showing up. We're gonna, get through this hour with each other. Hopefully, have a little bit of fun as we do on Sundays. And I see I got waiting in the wings my brother from North Carolina, Mr. Bird. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, bro? I see you partaking the medicinal. Don't have I?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got to do it today. For those that don't know, on vacation last week, I got hit with peripheral neuropathy. If you've never experienced that, it feels like somebody stabbing you in your leg with a hot knife. It is nerve damage. And so, yeah. Well, how you doing, Brittany? Good to see you, sweetheart. Thanks for popping in. And so, so I'm on meds right now, recuperating, feeling pretty good. How you been? It's good to see you, my brother. How you been doing?
Listen, I'm good. I'm blessed, man. I got past that little pneumonia thing. I'm feeling good. So
I love it. I love it. Well, that's what we want to hear. Welcome back. We missed you, man. We missed you. Yes, sir. And then I got Mr. Kenny, my brother. Oh, my God. My brother from Dallas. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, man. It's been I can't even explain it, but you know what? I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, and we hanging in here, brothers. I just had to come on today, man, to kind of try to get my feet back in this thing. Be with my YouTube family, and
yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Here I am. I was like, let me go ahead and try to get this thing back going.
I love it. Well, as always, my brother, this is home. We appreciate you. We love you. And you're still gonna be lifted up in our prayers. To get through these tough times. So glad to see you. Good to see you, my brother.
Good to see you all. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Miss Brittany says hello as well. So
what's
good
up,
to have
Brittany?
you back.
How you doing?
There you go. And
good.
Take your time. So as always, in case you people don't know, we're gonna have some light conversation today. We're not gonna do anything too heavy. So guess what we're talking about today? I have not peeked in at TFG's his and hers relationship topics in a little while. So we're going to peek in today, and we're going to just take them step by step, because if you don't know one thing about me, I am an opinionated son of a bitch, and I got an opinion on everything. So I'm going to share mine with you today. What's going
up,
on?
Hunter? How you doing?
Good to see you, sweetheart. And so I'm going to share mine. I invite everybody to share their own. As always, we like to say here on Real Talk, the views expressed on this show belong to myself and myself alone, so take it with a grain of salt. It's coming from love. We're not going to get anything too heavy. And even if we disagree, what do we say here? We'll agree to disagree without being disagreeable. So that's how we're going to keep it. So we're going to try to tackle as many of these as I can. And I think the coolest way to do this in many cases is to share my screen so that you guys can kind of see it. You know, I think a visual is always a good thing. So we're going to jump right into it, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to tackle the first one that I see that I like. and we'll go from there. So I'm sharing my screen here. And TFG's His is Hers Relationships Perspectives. If you haven't already, go to the page. You can find these topics. You're more than welcome to comment. We invite you to do so. This one I thought was interesting. If you can see the picture, can everybody see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Clearly, this is a young man in a hospital. He's got a hospital gown on, and this is what's going on, just in case you don't know. I'm not going to read all of this. He said, today I made a big decision. A lot of people called me crazy because of how young I am for getting this procedure. Guess what he did, folks? He paid $700 and he got a vasectomy. He got a vasectomy, you know. And so this is something you don't always see happening, you know. But I'll just read a little bit about what he said, you know. He said vasectomies are reversible. Not only that, there are so many kids that would love to be adopted, and honestly, that's my plan. Until then, I have my dog, who is my son in my eyes. So this is a young man who made a conscious decision to get a vasectomy, and I'm sure he has his reasons. We got 3 men and a woman on here. So I think I know Tasha's opinion. I'm going to ask the fellas, what do you guys think about this? And clearly, he's a young guy. And even though he mentioned vasectomies are reversible, what do you think about men getting a vasectomy?
Did he say how old he was? Did it say how old he was? It didn't say.
It didn't say his age on here. If judging from the picture, if I had to guess, he looks
like he was mid to late 20s, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely no older than 32, 33 years old.
I give this young gentleman props. I think more men should do that. Because when you think about the situations we have a lot of times with absentee fathers and the child support system, and you would nullify all that if a lot of men would think about, you know, I'm not ready to be financially responsible for a child. I still want to have sex, but I ain't trying to be there like that. I give it. I mean, hats off to this young man for thinking. To me, that's showing physical responsibility, in my opinion.
Wow, I love it. What do you say, Brother Bert?
What the fuck is that? Like, all right, you said the dog was his son, right?
Right.
That's his son for now, and then he was talking about adoption.
Mm-hmm.
He said, from what I gather, he said his plan is to adopt maybe down the road, but right now he view his dog as his son.
To me, I mean, this thing like he just don't want no kids. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I mean? It's like he don't want none of his own. I'm not sure what his background is, what he ever went through, the whole nine. But to tell you the truth, I looked at vasectomy as a man. I looked at vasectomy as like something like, this is it. I'm not having no more kids. You know,
okay.
I'm not trying to deal with this no more, and none of that stuff like that. I thought that was like the final straw. Like that's it. I'm done with having kids.
Okay.
I mean, I guess from the standpoint that he's taken, I mean, I guess it's cool, but it's not gonna stop you from anything else. And you know, like you still raw dogging it and everything. It's not stopping you from other things that you can get. I don't know. It seems a little weird.
Okay.
Guy, my dog is my son, and then you're talking about, you know, possibly adopting down the line. I feel like he just don't want any kids of his own, to say the truth.
Okay. Definitely a different view. Tasha, before I get your view as the representative of we females on the panel, I want to read a couple of comments really quickly. There was a guy that says he was all good until that last paragraph. Then he went full-blown simp. Another guy says a lot of doctors won't do a vasectomy at a younger age. My best friend wanted one at 20, but no doctor would do it until he had already fathered a child. A young lady says, I wish more men thought like this. If that makes them simps, then oh well. You know, another guy says, so he got a vasectomy so women wouldn't have to take birth control? No, sir. You got clips so you can screw a bunch of chicks and not have any missteps or have to be committed or responsible to any of them. I see you, player. Tasha,
That's
what do you
responsible. That's responsible, though. That's responsible to me. Anyway,
I feel you. What do you think, Tasha?
This right here. I'm so tired of the burden of birth control or preventing a pregnancy being placed on the woman. Do you know how difficult it is if I want at 33, if I wanted right now to get a hysterectomy? If I have to have permission from a husband or a boyfriend. Permission.
Wow.
It is far easier for men to get vasectomies than it is for women to have a hysterectomy. Because a lot of doctors are with that whole mindset of, well, you may want to have kids on down the line. You could tell them adamantly, I don't want kids. I understand exactly what I'm doing. I'm making this conscious decision right now, and they will still tell you no.
Wow.
So for him, I applaud that. Even if he wants to be out here screwing just at will, at random, by all means, do what you want to do. Enjoy yourself, okay? But it shouldn't be always on the woman. Again, I can't do that. I can't go out here and, even if I wanted to have a hysterectomy, I can't go years later and have it reversed. So it's far easier, and it should be the men should take responsibility in that.
Wow. All right. I appreciate that. And I knew that was your view because you've been advocating for this for quite a while. And I'll be quite clear that earlier on, I probably would have said, hell no. You know what I'm saying? But the more that I've had time to think about it, I think I've come over to the side where you're at, Kenny, and even with you, Tasha. What's going on, Antoine? How you doing, fam? Good to see you.
What's up, Antoine?
And Antoine even says, Tasha, you make some good points. I guess I agree. You know what? As I've had time to think about it, the fact that it's reversible is what for me makes it doable. And then I'm going to be honest with you, as educated as I try to be, I wasn't aware of the points you made about you need permission. And it just makes me think about what women are going through right now, when we're dealing with the Roe v. Wade, issues on abortion, that you have a bunch of men making decisions about what a woman can and can't do with her body, and so that a guy can take the responsibility in his hands and do the responsible thing. Because I think back now to my willy-nilly days, and I definitely stuck myself in a lot of strange holes, and there might be a whole lot of fat, ugly, bald-headed men sitting around here without a father right now, because I didn't hang around long enough to see what happened to them, So
go ahead and log off for me. Go ahead and log off.
This is why I needed this therapy on Sunday today for this guy right here up above.
I appreciate it. And so that this young man is being responsible, I get it. And should he want to reverse his decision down the road, I get it. And I can sit here now, not everybody wants to be a parent. I think far too many times, the assumption is always that becoming a parent is what we're supposed to do. And I think more and more people are realizing that maybe that's not what they want to do, so I've kind of come over to that side now, that especially since it's reversible. Right.
So, and then too, again, I look at the, not wanting to put yourself in the system. That's one of the things, because what if this guy, a lot of cats, they out there throwing they thing around, and then Absolutely. They don't understand that, if you ain't ready for marriage, these women gonna be like, yo, hey, we went half on a baby, as our guy R. Kelly said, yes. and if you ain't gonna be with me, we get ready to put you on the system, and guess what? You don't want them in your life.
Exactly.
And that's what, and I talked to my sons about that. I was like, yo, if you're not ready to marry a woman, do not be out there slinging that thing all willy-nilly, man, because they'll put you in the system, and then you can't get out of it.
And we didn't even talk about the fact that, for many of these nasty 50 no good bitches, that's the new welfare system.
Right.
Yeah. get a child, and you know, they go on about their business, and now the man is in the system and able to and having to be responsible financially, whether he want to be in the child's life or not. Bert, you have another comment, brother?
Yeah, let me ask you a question. I'm not sure if anybody know or not. So I'm put out there because I don't know. Is it 100% like when a man gets that procedure done, like no kids whatsoever? Or is it like 99.9, or is it like a like what's the
right? It's funny you asked that. I had a former employee I worked with, and he had one done, and it did not actually work because his wife ended up getting pregnant.
Correct.
So there is not 100% guaranteed that just because you get one that is fact. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Correct.
And if I'm not mistaken, like in the process, don't they make sure that the man's nuts essentially are empty like before or after? Or they tell you like that you still have to use protection after, like so many weeks after, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm with Bird, and Bird,
mine been empty for a while, Tasha, so I don't know. Mine been empty. I got my nuts been having vacancies for the last 9 years.
Tasha, you just made us all uncomfortable, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought like I'm almost positive that they tell you because I want to say it's like within like a 10 to 15% chance, but they tell you that so many weeks after you still need to use protection because you could still possibly have.
I think that's right. I think
you
you're
know
right
more
about
it than I do.
My bad. I didn't mean to make everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah, Tasha all on our nuts. That don't make no sense.
If I'm emptying my nuts, it's gonna be in somebody's head. So we're gonna go on to the next one, which I think is a good old tried and true one. But and just so you know, I have not read any of these. I'm looking at these live, just like you guys are. This one is a short one, but I want to read some comments before anybody answer. So somebody said, you know, the more educated she is, the more difficult she will be to date. So apparently this guy says the more educated she is, the more difficult she will be to date. So let's read a couple of comments if I can get my bearings here. Okay. I'm trying to get to a couple of comments here. Okay. So I guess here we go. So I want to read all comments. No. Okay. So somebody says, if you don't have, am I looking at the right thing?
No, you're on something else.
Oh, okay. I sure did. Oh, bear with me. That's why this is live. This is live. How come I can't get to the comments on this one?
Did you click the view 12 previous comments? Can you click that? Where it says view 12 previous comments. Can you, click that. There you go.
All right. So a lady says, laughing my ass off, what? And she goes on to say, I guess in a way he's right. Whether she is more educated in street knowledge or books, the more she knows, the less you will get away with. Another young lady says, nah, just harder for you to come at her with BS. Apparently, another lady says, only if the man is uneducated. A lot of comments from women here. The lady says, say what? LOL. Sounds like a wuss puss to me. A guy says, not one piece of sense made. Okay, you're a dumbass because you could have phrased that a little bit better. Then another guy says, Captain, I often have problems with the ones who don't cap. Okay, excuse me, I'm an old guy. He says cap, so he said lion. I often have problems with the ones who don't use logic and lean on all types of emotion, defaulting to stay ignorant at times, then to step up and learn something that would change their life in a meaningful way. Now, if you are not educated as a man or even informally educated through just self-study and being self-taught, yeah, you're going to have problems because you won't be able to teach or even lead meaningful conversation. So one-on-one is all things equal, not true. Okay. What do you guys think? You know, this obviously generated some response here based on the comment here. The more educated she is, the more difficult she will be to date. I'm definitely interested in my brothers and what you think about this. Do you think the more educated a woman is, the more difficult it is to date her?
Nah, that's BS. Nah, because as a man, if you can hold your own in a conversation with a woman, that's more attractive, in my opinion. That's probably coming from a guy that can't hold a conversation with an educated woman and call him out on his BS when he's trying to recite soliloquies and Pythagorean theorems and all that, and she's like, "No, that ain't right, son. No, that ain't. You got that all jacked up, player." So no, man, that's just some guy. That's some simp that he don't know how to hold a conversation, doesn't know what's current events and all that good stuff. So no, it's trash.
Okay. Brother Bird, what do you say to this one?
Yeah, I gotta call BS on this one, man. You know what I mean? We've always been taught, you know, the bigger the fish, the bigger the catch. You know, like you want somebody to be able to challenge you mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, as far as a woman being difficult, I can't say that. Now you might have a small minority might act a certain way because of that, maybe because of things they went through, all the way they're being viewed. Just like I know a couple of brothers that got a bunch of degrees and they just think they're the shit. You know what I mean? They're very difficult. You know what I mean? Just on a friend level, they deal with some difficult shit. So no, I don't think that's the case, man. I just think that he probably just can't hold his weight or hold his own against her, and then he just want to say, "Oh, cause you guys," because it sounds like he's being like kind of what's the word? Like he's intimidated, or like he feel like maybe because he hasn't attained as much as she has, then maybe any little thing that she do, if she comes off a certain way, oh, because you think you're smarter than me.
Okay.
So yeah, I call bullshit on that one. I don't agree with that.
Okay. Tasha, you are an educated woman. You know.
Sometimes.
Okay. All right. But I know for a fact you are an educated woman. You hold a master's degree. And not only are you educated, you're extremely smart. See, those are two separate things.
Right.
Those are two separate things. So not only are you educated, but you're actually very smart. What do you think about this from where you sit? You know, do you think women that are more educated are more difficult to date?
I really don't think it's education. I think it just comes down to that specific woman. And even in the statement, like I'm questioning it, like educated women are more difficult to date, like trying to obtain a date with them. Is that what the person meant? Like they can't even get a date with them?
Okay.
Or is it that they are dating them and they're not able to get into an actual relationship with them because of the issues that may come up, the difference in, like communicating, or even how she may be able to express herself, or, an interest level, just maybe your interests are different. It's such a vague and general statement. You really don't even how it's written, it doesn't make any sense. Like, because you could take it like so many different ways. I don't think it has anything to do with education. It's subjective is what it is. It's extremely subjective.
Okay.
So, and that's really only something men can answer. So.
Okay. Well, before I move on to give my viewpoint on it, you're the resident woman on deck right now, so I'm gonna put you to the test to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
In pursuit of your degrees, so formal education, we're talking here. Would you say, rating yourself, that you were easier to get along with in a relationship versus the more education you got?
I think it's the same. I do. I think I'm the same. I don't think that, but again, that really may be a question for somebody who knew me before I got my degrees and, like now, but I think I'm the same. I just may view things a little bit differently, or if we have issues or if we have arguments, I might approach it a little bit differently.
Okay.
I could probably be, I'm probably like a lot better, like more manipulative. I can say that.
Okay. And that's why I want you to be, also be honest about your approach. And I love that you said that. I love that she said that. She's keeping it real. She's keeping it real. Antoine, you say you got to be sure and confident in yourself. Absolutely. So I agree with you 1,000%. And the one thing I've always been confident in is that's the one area for me that's come very easy, believe it or not. I might struggle in all kinds of other stuff. God knows. It seems like, to get to a place I want to get to professionally, I have to always fight. People don't even know what it takes. But women have always come very easy to me because I have been confident in myself. And that's even now being a fat guy, I still don't feel wilted in front of women, whether they're educated or not. Now, having said that, when I looked at the question, like you said, Tasha, depends on how you interpret it. And I've told my audience and people, friends who know me a long time about this, I actually have found it easier to be with women the more educated they are. And then now when we say be with women, I'm talking about fucking them. Because I haven't been on a date in a long time. I don't think people like to date anymore. So when I hear the word date, I'm thinking about fucking somebody. So now the women that I am going to fuck, I find the more educated they are, the easier that they are. For me, my reasons have been educated women. They worked hard to get to that. They made sacrifices to get that education. In many cases, putting off at the expense of their personal life. They put their head down. They're getting that degree. They're working. And I've said this 1,000 times. Usually when you find an educated woman, she has all of the material trappings already. I.e. look at Tasha. She has her own place, beautiful spot. She drives a Cadillac, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? They usually have better jobs than we do, better houses. They're more settled and established. So when I come along, I'm just dick. I'm indiscriminate dick. And with that said, with educated women, my experience has been that they don't need me for anything other than that. They're not kind of pretty much stay at my place, move in with me. They have all those things settled. Now, on the flip side of it, if you're talking about date in a sense of relationships, I agree with this comment because I find educated bitches to be nauseating, to be very hard to deal with. And I like simple women. And so when you get some of these educated bitches who have the pinky up when they drink, and they want to roll out education as a weapon, that is why I enjoy stuffing myself so much in their head and tail. I enjoy degrading them for those reasons. That's because you come into it a lot of times with such high expectations, like you're above somebody. I love knocking them bitches down and skeeting on the back of their neck and on their hair. I love that type of shit. I get off on that type of shit, So in that sense, I agree. I like simple, common women who you don't have to impress, So in that sense, I kind of agree with it. That's just been my experience.
Can I just say, I think also maybe considering age is a factor too, because with more education, of course, you're going to be, you're going to be older. And so, of course, your views and your experience are going to shape, like how you may act in relationships too. But again, with the comment, I don't even know what that person even meant. It just doesn't, I don't know.
Well, that's why we took it, and addressed it our ways. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother Bert.
I'm just still stuck at feet in the back of the neck. What's the
Okay. Thomas is not the hair because to me, a black woman's hair is her crown of beauty, and I just get a true kick out of fucking it up. When you think about a black woman getting her hair done, she don't want you to mess up her hair. So on purpose, when she down there, I like to ruffle her hair a little bit, And if I got her in the right position, I definitely like to come in her hair. I just like to fuck up a whole day.
That's only you, Black, only you. And I'm stuck on Tasha. I think Tasha got a side job. She got a side hustle. She drives a Cadillac and she live in Memphis. Oh, she a pimp. Tasha a pimp. She drive a Cadillac and she live in Memphis.
She is a pimp.
I just figured it out. I get it.
Penny, she is a pimp. That's a pimp.
I am not out here pimping like that. No.
Tasha is don't get it twisted. I always say Tasha's like a guy. Tasha runs her shit like we run our shit as men. They have to come to her place. She's in total and complete control, and so she serves them up and puts them out. Tasha is a PIM. So
Yeah, I
whatever
believe
your
it.
simps are, Tasha's a pimp. Yes, sir. Just so you know. All right, we're gonna change gears and go to another one. All right. So we'll see. All right. I think sharing the screen again. Let's look at this one here. This one was by I ain't gonna mention the name, but I guess this is the comment. Which is it? Are men just not consistent enough, or women are just too needy? Let that sink in. Are we saying that men are just not consistent enough, or are women just too needy? And the interesting thing about this is nobody commented on this. There was not one comment on this. I found that fascinating. So, which do you believe is true? That men are just not consistent enough, or are women just too needy? Tasha, I'm gonna
This is a
start with
blanket statement.
yeah. Tasha, I'm
Okay.
gonna start with you on this one. Do you think men are just not consistent enough? It is a broad statement, and I guess we're just talking about what we see out here in the landscape, of men and women. I like that she got her head down because she's giving us some real thought. Or do you think that women are just too needy?
That's that's really hard because yes, I think both statements are equally true, but if we had to pick one that's more of an issue, I don't I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Women are too needy. Some women,
Uh-oh.
let me rephrase this. Some
Okay.
women are too needy because again, when we listen to what some of the requirements are for some women and what they're looking for and what they're saying that they need, sometimes to me it doesn't sound like they want a man, they want a woman, they want a girlfriend. They
Ooh.
want more like along that lines where men are capable of giving us emotional things like this is in addition to like what women are requiring materially and physically. What they're requiring emotionally, yes, men can give it, but to the level and to the extent sometimes it sounds more that they want a woman. So, and I think that this statement is different for the different generations. I think we could break that down for different generations and what it looks like. Because I think that's in as far as Gen X women would go, I think I would say Gen X women would say that men are too inconsistent. So I do think that it does matter in that, in that. But in my experience, I would say women are too needy.
Mm.
And again, also, I'm saying that too because there has been like a great deal of women who have been relationship coaches and matchmakers who have left that field because of the women's requirements are so unrealistic to what they should be. And I know it's completely subjective and everybody feels like they deserve certain things, but it's like, come on now. Sometimes I don't even know if we're in the same planet. So
Wow, that was a lot.
Uh,
That was
sorry.
my
no. I went to you first for that reason. That was a lot, and you gave us a lot to think about. Fellas, what do you think here? Anything you want to comment on what Tasha says, or where do you stand on this? Do you think we as men, and again, it is very broad. Do you think that we're inconsistent, or is it that women are too needy?
my knuckle. Look, she hit a home run on that because I was like trying to like kind of like weigh that out,
Right.
and I really came up with what she came up with just that women are needy.
Okay.
Men at times can be inconsistent, but I don't think it outweighs some women, like you were saying, some women as far as being needy to have a man. And that was interesting what you were saying as far as how sometimes some women would look like they want the man to kind of be like their girlfriend instead of just
I
being a
love that
man
point,
and
Tasha. I love that.
what comes with being a man. 'Cause I didn't even think about that at first. I was just like, wow, I thought that was right. I wholeheartedly agree with everything that Tasha. I really don't have anything else to really I can add on to that because what she expressed is some of what I feel with some women.
Right.
So yeah, I would just say that women are a little needy at the end of the day more than men are being inconsistent. Because I know a lot of brothers out there are inconsistent. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
not to a certain level. It might be on some little small shit, but there are a lot of women. Some women that are a little bit more needy to have that relationship or have the man in a certain way or a certain structure than it is for us being inconsistent.
Okay. I like your points too. As you think about your answer, Brother Kenny, Antoine says some men are needy.
True.
That's true
Some men
too.
are,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
so we
true.
want to acknowledge that. What do you think about this one, Brother Kenny?
Man, this is a tough one
This
because
was a tough one for me.
I
Yeah.
I I mean, like Tasha said, if you have to choose one, because I think needy is an emotion, and I think that's a woman thing. I think inconsistent is a behavior. That's a man thing. So it's hard to compare the two. So if I had to choose which one, I would probably have to say women are more needy because I think that's something that emotionally they're innate. That's part of who they are. Um, but on the flip side, I will also say that men, we do come up short, some men in certain areas with our women. So I mean, I mean, it's subjective. But if I had to choose one, I guess I would have to say probably women are more needy.
I'm
Hey,
agree with you
Black.
1,000%, Brother Kenny. Go ahead, Brother Bert. You have some more?
Yeah. Because you know what? If you think about it though, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Black.
No, please.
You got a lot of things out there as far as like what women really want, what
Right,
they're looking for. So look that's a need. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like I would lean more towards that than
right,
men being
Right,
inconsistent. You know, it just
right,
seems like it's what some women want out of a man more than what we want. I mean, men will just say, hey, listen, you just look probably be cool with whatever. You know, we are not gonna hold you. But it seems like women it's a lot more. And Todd, you got that was really good as far as the girlfriend, like thinking that you want that man to almost become like that
right,
girlfriend, which we're not. We're not built that way.
right. All good points, and so again, I know it's subjective, but we're picking up from two poisons here because I think it can flip either way. Especially when I look at the newer generation. I watch this show on TV every Wednesday called Temptation Island. It's one of my guilty pleasures where they throw all of these beautiful people together and they're bringing their significant other there to see if they're going to be tempted to switch and this and that. And as I watch this show, it's one of my guilty pleasures because I really love it. But I'm amazed at how needy the men are on this show,
Mm.
and how they're the ones in the camera, in the private confessionals, always talking about the emotional part about things. And I don't know if it's just for TV, they know they're on camera or whatever, but I've been watching this type of thing happen in reality TV for a while. And so, to Antoine's point, I definitely think this new age man is very, very needy.
Yes, they are.
But overall, if I had to pick one, Kenny, your answer was the one that for me did it. I love how you explained that needy is an emotion and consistent is a behavior. And so if I had to choose one, I agree with you, Brother Kenny, that I think the way we're built as men is, we don't operate primarily off of emotion usually.
right.
We're built on a set of behaviors that's innately built into us from being little boys, that this is the way you're supposed to behave. And even when I look at some of these bitch ass niggas out here, when you cut through all the bullshit that they go through, I think by and large, they're still very simple. I think men at our core, we're very simple. Dave Chappelle, I think, is the one who said it best: feed me, fuck me, shut the fuck up. And so I think at our core, when you strip away the white belts and the loafers and the skinny pants and all the faggot shit that they do, no, excuse me. I think at its core, men are still very, very simple. We want very simple things. You know what I'm saying? Give me a little something to eat, suck my dick, or stick a finger in my ass, whichever you prefer. And then just be quiet and let me play games or whatever I like to do. Women, are very needy and they keep moving the needle, I find. I think for women, they are too needy in this instance because they're constantly moving the needle when they say what they want. We don't know what you bitches want. 1 minute you want a rose up in your pussy, the next, you want us up in there. I don't know what you want. That's why we don't understand you. So one day you want somebody rich, and the next day you want to be ride or die. I wish you guys were more simple like us. Let's make it simple. Let's put 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink, and let's go to sleep.
Listen,
Yeah.
to the panel, do you think, and I know what you're talking about the way the men are now, do you think there's going to be like a seismic shift in the future? Like those are going to be how the way men are going to be, and you think that
Yes,
women are going to be the more aggressive? I'm talking about years down the line. Because look, that's where it's heading to.
I'm terrified.
I don't get them.
I'm terrified, Brother Bert, that you know how we say there's not enough big mamas left around? And so we've lost a lot of the core values that you see. I'm afraid that they're trying to kill off what they call toxic masculinity to such an extent, that they're trying to kill me off. These bitches trying to kill me out here. It's not enough of us around.
Here, you know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. Like, what's up?
I'm just, I'm toxic as they come, but it's hard to tell these bitch ass niggas to man up when they dressing like women, carrying purses, they all emotional, and then they want a thumb in their ass too. It's killing me. They just killing me.
Just for the record, men don't like thumbs in their ass. They prefer either the index or the middle finger. I just wanted to clear the air there. It's not a thumb. Okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I would figure because the thumb is the biggest finger, that's where they got the most satisfaction from.
You gotta be able to like reach like the process. Never mind. We'll talk about it offline. You gotta be.
Let me clear the air too. I don't want damn one of them in my butt. Yeah, since we clear the air, okay, I'm done.
We need more brothers like Ken around. We need more men like Ken around. But Kenny, we are a dying breed, my brother. Because I'm telling you.
I believe so, bro. I believe so.
You just gotta try it just one time. You ain't have to tell nobody you did it. Just try it. You would think about it so differently.
I will know.
No,
I will know. Ain't no running from
That's
that.
why you driving that Cadillac in Memphis, Tasha. That's why you driving that Cadillac in Memphis. I already know. Now you pimping. With that thumb, I got it. I hear you.
Tasha, you done left a bunch of men in your wake that you done stuck your finger in their ass. We get it.
Oh my gosh. This is not the point of this show.
I know it went to a different place, but hey, we had to go there. And so, speaking of role models.
oh Lord. I hate to hear where we going with this.
I had to figure out where to transition. But let's go to another one that I think we got time to squeeze in. So, oh my God. I thought this was an interesting post here, though. Somebody wrote that my teenage nephew told me he asked a girl out and she turned him down. I said, you know what to do now, right? He said, I know, keep trying. And I said, no, leave her alone. She gave you an answer. He was shocked. No one had told him that before. Teach your boys. Now, this is coming from a woman. What do you guys think about this scenario? Because this is something a little different, I think. So it's kind of piggyback on the conversation we just had. What do you think about this scenario that girls tells the boy, teenage boy, leave it alone? Does he stop? and move on, or are we still believing in persistence pays off? Where are we
See,
at on this?
and this is a very good topic because in the dating scene, there we are supposed to, as men, you pursue. That's what we're supposed to do. Even and your pursuit should continue even if the woman has kind of turned your advances down. I'm
Right.
like, I've never been bought into that theory. I always say you can pursue if the woman says no, I'm not interested. You leave it at that. You keep it moving because guess what? There's another one down the line that's going to be interested in you. That particular woman just ain't interested. Let it go. Don't keep pursuing her because now you talking, you crossing the lines of stalking. Now you crossing, even a teenager. You crossing the line. You harassing. No, you don't do that. And we got to stop. We got to stop telling boys you continue to pursue to make a woman want you because that ain't the way it's supposed to happen. That ain't how it happened, in my opinion.
I love it. Very strong. Kenny came out strong on that one. What do you think about this one, Bert? And I know you got boys.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on this one?
Yeah, like the way I was brought up, especially when you were told, no, this is like an old school way of thinking. It was more like you just wear them down. You know what I mean? They're saying no right
That
now.
right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? They say yes, but I mean, looking back on it, that was kind of like stalking tendencies
Right.
that she was having.
You're right.
But well, with my boys, I would tell them, listen, if she's not interested, you know what I mean? Because like they was like going, like they were all in. But if she say no, it was just pretty much let it go because of the fact that I know if the roles were reversed, then I'd be like, yo, this bitch is crazy. You know what I mean? Because if a woman did that, she'd look at the crazy bitch and like, yo, you stalking my son, what's up? But then if you do the role reversal with the man, it's like, oh no, he's just being, he won't take no for an answer, but he's just being, just being a man and, just trying to wear you down. Yeah, I agree with what they said. Just leave her alone. Just like they said, it's enough fish in the sea. Just go ahead and go for someone else that is interested in you. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. I mean, hey, she might have turned you down. That might have been a blessing in disguise. Maybe she would have broke your heart, or maybe
All
what I'm
true.
saying, she just wasn't the one for you.
All
So
true.
don't press the issue. Just keep moving and keep doing you, player. Like don't worry about that shit. So yeah, leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Very good points. Tasha, what do you think about this one?
I'm fine with the whole thing. If we're gonna tell, to Kenny's point, if we're gonna tell the young men, like no means no. If she says no, if we're gonna start with that message of, like not actively pursuing like that, that's fine. But on the other side, for like the young girls, then we got to stop giving out that information of playing hard to get.
Mm,
So of being coy, of saying no, but still flirting, leading on, things like that. If it's a clear cut no, fine. But if it's one of those, I don't know, no, I can't. If it's something like that, then we have to be consistent on the other side too. So yeah, of course, ideally, no means no. Yes, it's very cut and dry, but we also have the ones that say no, but then get mad when he moves on to somebody else or he shows interest to your friend and she says yes.
right.
So,
I agree with
Very
that.
good
I think
points.
for sake of time, I was going to go there, but I didn't want to go there. But yeah, you're right. If it's kind of, we know that type of no. We all know that.
Right.
Like
Right.
no, but then that's when I say you could be a little persistent. But what child really going to tell their parent? Like, oh no, she was just playing around saying no. He was just going to say no. You know
right.
what I mean? But if they being on the level, that type of no, you might be able to be more persistent. You might be able to go a little bit further with that because that wasn't like a hard no. That was more like for lack of a better term, a playful no.
Right.
But if it's a playful no, then it's a different type of situation, a different type of conversation. If the child feels comfortable enough to bring in those points, but if it's just on just everything equal no, then just leave it alone, move on.
But I can even say, like, for me, I've done that. Like, a guy could ask me out and I could say no, but like in a couple of weeks, if he asks me out again, okay, might as well. Why not? So if we're telling him no, just leave her alone, don't do that, then then that second ask may never come. So
So that's where
well, for me, if I ask and the first time is a no, I'm not coming back around. That's just me.
that's what I'm
Every man,
saying. Then it's like you miss
every
out.
man is well.
It's
My
also
thing
teenage
is
years, bro.
sometimes it may not have meant to be anyway. So my thing is, see this is tricky because in the dating game, again, men we're programmed to pursue and even continue to try to that person you're interested in to kind of find interest in you. But to me, it shouldn't be like that. This should be an equal interest. So if I'm always having to just trying to jump over hoops to get you to say yes, then eventually that'll be the same thing if we get in a relationship. I got to jump over the hoops every time to even get you to do anything. So to me, you starting out wrong already if I'm doing that like that. But that's just me. Every man is different too. So.
And that's a teenage. That's what I'm saying. Teenage, if you tell me, no, I'm going to the next piece of ass. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about the teenage mind, like our grown mind is totally different. We know how to pick up or feel attention, like what Tasha was saying. Like she did it sometimes, a couple weeks later, I'm going to get at her again. Let me ask her again, maybe she'll say yes. But as a teenager, that's a totally different deal. You know what I'm saying? So if she shuts you down.
No, as a grown man, 53-year-old mine, did you tell me no? I'm done. My 53-year-old ass, I'm going down the corner. I'm going to play bingo or something. I'm good. I'll find somebody at the bingo parlor or something. I'm good.
I'm glad we went with ages here because for me, I think that's what makes this difficult and important. You guys have nailed it to me in a lot of ways. A teenage mind, I would want a teenage mind to be taught the difference between a hard no and, like Tasha says, then a coy no. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I think that's important is because I would want my teenage son to know to know something about persistence and how it pays off. And that if you do want something, that sometimes you do have to work for it and jump through a few hoops, because the hope is that the girl he's chasing, maybe it's not the easy one. Maybe it is the one that is requiring him to jump through a little bit of hoops. And to me, that's okay. And that's because when I look at that demographic, what's going on, Mr. Real Estate Insider?
What's up, Lamar? Real Estate Insider.
Because to me, I think about that age group. They're all fucking each other. You know, they're all sleeping with each other. Let's be clear. And so if he finds somebody that he's attracted to and she just initially shoots him down, I don't know. On the one hand, I definitely wouldn't want my son to be a stalker. And we live in a Me Too age now where no means no, even though these bitches got their legs pent clear back behind their ears. But so, son, understand that, you know, and I almost will want to teach him that you can have a little bit of persistence to it, you know, and that's because as we get to be our ages now, to Kenny's point, I'm just not going to work that hard. I'm single right now because I'm not going to work that hard because I don't have to, you know. If I'm in, I've been in my favorite store, Kroger's, and I put a bid in on somebody. But a nasty bitch shot me down. That's it. Now she's dead to me. So, you know, I won't say anything again. You know, that's my feel. I'm not gonna be running in there when I was younger, you know, we did all those silly things. You keep coming in. I see the same person. My feeling now as a grown older man is okay, she wasn't interested, you know. Now, if anything, I'm gonna play the odds that, to Tasha's point, where the no was now, couple of weeks from now, once again, I don't understand women. I don't understand y'all, because the needle moves. Now, you just shot me down a few weeks ago, you know, and I was actually looking kind of decent that day that I approached your musty ass. And now here it is today. I'm looking like a bum and you grinning in my face. So you wonder why I peas on these bitches and do all the kind of shit that I do, because y'all keep moving the needle. I can't understand you. But anyway, I digress. Back to the teenager. Yeah, I guess in today's world, I would have to teach him to move on. because I don't want him to fall prey to the whole Me Too thing. But I do want him to know that you do have to work for some things. And when I say something, I need a good woman, because I would want for him, when I got married, it was the woman that said no to me. That's who I married. That's the one that wouldn't give it up. And so I did keep coming. Now, we're talking about a different time, of course, but because she told me no matter what you do, I'm not dropping my drawers for you. And that's just not going to happen. That was the one that I had to go, wow, okay. And so typically when I've had girlfriends, it's the one that put up some kind of resistance that make me work for it. Because if you give it to me too easy, I just figure if I'm getting it that easy, somebody else is getting it that easy. So that's my feeling.
That's a whole different, to me, that's a whole different topic, but I get it. Yeah,
absolutely. We got about 4 minutes, and I'm not going to share my screen on this one. I just want a simple answer on this one, and it was on TFG, his and hers perspectives, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up. Kevin Samuels, we know he passed, so I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole, but there is an active discussion on TFG, his and hers relationship perspectives, whether you're on Kevin Samuels. How do you feel about this? Because Vivica Fox, I believe it was, is the one who made a comment. Yeah. And Brother Kenny, you correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was her who said that, talked about karma.
It was her.
Okay, so that, look at what happened. You spent all this time degrading Black women and putting them down and blah, 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 and bam, you're dead. So again, without going too far down the rabbit hole, we know he passed. And if you read the comments, there's a lot of vitriol out there towards this guy's death. A lot of nasty things, I just quickly wanted to know, do you guys feel like what happened to him is karma? Or and that people are going into with too much vitriol and hatred? Really quickly, where do you stand on the Kevin Samuels thing? Anybody?
I'll read real quick. I think it's a little bit, disrespectful. Agree. I say this. I didn't agree with his presentation, the way he presented it, but he had a lot of things he said was really some truth in it. So, and I know Black women, when you get on the bad side of Black women, you can't get off that side. So my thing is, even in his death, even if you didn't agree with him, you didn't like his presentation, my thing is this: it's an old saying, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Just leave it at that. Just say rest in peace, because that man had a fortitude. Just leave it at that. That's my opinion.
Well said. Who
I'll keep real quick. Number one thing, to some women, Kevin Samuels isn't the leader of men. It was what it was, what he said. There was some truth to what he said, and there was some fallacies to what he said. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's karma, because he wasn't killing people out here. It wasn't like he was doing something against the community or whatever the case might be. So I don't think karma is death. But I think that the fact of the matter is that it was just a difference of opinion. He had you thinking, whether you liked him or not, he did have you thinking about certain things. So he brought that to the table. And I just think that, hey, listen, rest in peace to him. You know what I'm saying? And just have I'll tell you the truth, just have your own mind. He don't have to be the leader of us, but just because he's saying certain things, you got a certain group of men that kind of follow him to a T, don't mean he's the leader of us all. That just means that he just brought certain things to the table that just got us thinking a little bit. That's all. And it might hurt some people's feelings, or maybe some of it was the truth. His delivery wasn't all that good. You know what I mean? Maybe that was for show. But at the end of the day, got us to think a little bit as far as in this relationship is.
Okay, thank you. Tasha, what do you say on this subject?
A hit dog gonna holler. It's what a few people. Well, people have forgotten like a few things that if it don't apply, let it fly. If it doesn't apply to you, I'm not gonna sit up here and take take exception to when it don't got nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my life or anything of what he was talking about. No, it wasn't karma. It was unfortunate what happened. And again, like what's really being glossed over is again like the he was in relatively good health, so to speak, but I know that he did have cancer. But even like physically, so like we're not even talking about like the health effects of black men. That just got glossed over. We just skipped over that because of how upset his message made people. And again, if you wanted to extrapolate what he said and someone else, another woman saying the exact same thing with the same messages, maybe it would be received differently. I mean, it doesn't make what he was saying any less true. So yes, he's not here anymore, but what he was saying doesn't mean that it was a lie. So
that's where, for me, in a nutshell, I don't think it was karma. Today could be anybody's last day. There, but for the grace of God go thee, as we say. Time and unforeseen occurrence befall us all. I've never actually watched a full episode of The Gentleman, and still I had a great deal of respect for him, believe it or not. I don't even think his delivery was wrong. It was successful. That's why he had millions of followers. Tasha and I talked about this before. We don't think of when we tend to think of great orators, people who can speak very well, we easily want to associate it with people we like. Martin Luther King Jr. was a great orator. Obama is a great orator, but so was Hitler.
sure.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's
so
Mussolini, they were great leaders.
And so I thought about the worst one in the sense that Hitler was responsible for millions of deaths, but to get people to follow him, he obviously was charismatic. And so when I think about Kevin Samuels, what he was doing, even his delivery, like Tasha said, if it didn't apply to you, that's why we got all these channels. All of us, we have these different channels. People were tuning in for a reason, and women were showing up for a reason, And so for those sitting on the sidelines who are aware of what he was saying, to Tasha's point, maybe some of the things he said hit home. Although I never watched the episode, I'm aware of some of the stuff he said. I agree with a lot of it personally. Now, again, his way of delivering it worked for him. He was successful at it. What I don't like now that he's dead is there's a disturbing trend I call shitting on the dead. Mm-hmm. While this man was alive, you had an opportunity to go on his show to say to him face to face what you thought of him. Right. We always say giving people their roses while they're alive. How about giving them their truth while they're alive as well? Look, I have a platform, a show, and I don't expect everybody to like my fat black ass. That's okay. I've even welcomed many of you to come on this show, and I'm my shoulders are broad. You could tell me point blank. If you can hold up, I know I can stand it. And I don't expect you like me, and then you don't have to tune in. But what I don't want to do is to shit on the dead. You know what I'm saying? He's paid his due. He was successful at what he did. Look, if you didn't like him, that's fine. But to stomp all over his name now that he's dead and this and that, and then, Brother Kenny, you talked about black women. This is one of my problems with my African-American sisters is that once again, you guys want to hear all of the nice things about how you're black queens and this and that. Not all of you are queens. Some of you are nasty, no good bitches. And that's okay too. We still love you. I still love nasty, no good bitches. I always will. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is leave that man alone. He is dead and he's gone, and let him rest in peace, as we say. So, Brother Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, my brother. And
I would say, if you want to really watch a really good interview, he did a really good interview with DJ Vlad. You can find it on YouTube to get his background. And I watched it, and it was a really good interview. So that would probably give you a little bit different insight on him. Again, I mean, we're not going to always agree with people that do say what they say, but his background interview was interesting, and I watched the interview, and it definitely gave me a different insight on him. So,
and again, I wish him nothing but peace. there's enough of this pie out here for everybody to get. And so he carved out his little niche. He did it successfully. And then, you know, I hope he rests in peace. My prayers to your family. So you have no beef with, I have no beef with you here, Mr. Samuels. God bless you, my brother. You know, now, so that brings us to the close of the end of this show. Again, I'm so glad. Thank you guys for sharing your views and showing up. This is medicine for me. You know, Brother Kenny said he showed up for his reasons. You know, this is medicine for me. When I'm not doing a show, I actually miss it. I miss seeing you guys' faces. I started this show very lethargic. I took a couple of pain pills and I'm smoking my little thing to feel good, you know, but I'm glad to see you guys. So this helps my Sunday. I can now go and watch the rest of my Sunday, watch the game, but I'm glad to see you guys. So if this is your first time tuning in, you can find us on TFG TV, on YouTube or Facebook. Look for Real Talk for Real Men. And we are part of the TFG platforms of shows. I don't know, Brother Kenny, if you feel up to giving the rundown or not, you know, because
Let me go ahead and give a rundown. I think I can do that. Obviously, we're gonna start with this great show right here, Real Talk for Real Men, with your host with the most, Lee Black, and his co-host, the beautiful Tasha Mack, the pimp out of Memphis. You can check them out on Sundays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, and on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Y'all can figure that out. Make sure you come check them out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Then on Sunday nights as well, you can check out Late Night with TFG with Rue, the host, and her co-host, Dwayne Martin and Charles Moore. You can catch them here at 8 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here there on their channel, Late Night with TFG with Rue. Make sure you tune into them. And also, the Real Estate Insider, Lamar Falk, the Black Robin Leach, as I call him. You can catch him here at 7 p.m. on the Real Estate Insider channel, on YouTube on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can see him saying, yo, family, that's the guy right there that had on there, the Real Estate Insider. Check him out on Fridays and Sundays, and he does stuff all during the week. Now, on Monday nights, you can catch me, Kendrick, Al or Kenny, whatever one you want to call me, whichever you feel like. My guy Lee Black, the host TFG tonight with Brenton Haynes, and our girl Devin Devine. You can catch us on TFG tonight on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and on Tuesday nights you can catch me, your guy Kendrick, the sports guy, TFG Sports Media, our TFG Sports Media channel on YouTube at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday nights, and on Thursday nights you can catch Forgive Us Later with Lamar Levity with Charles Moore and DJ Sullivan at 7:30 p.m. on the Forgive Us Later channel on YouTube. So come to TFG TV on YouTube. You can catch the shows. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. It's all on Facebook. Come on. We got something for you. So there you have it. Back to you, Lee Black.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. And so I thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you for your views, your comments. Keep them coming. Come on back next Sunday. If this was your first time, we're going to do something different, have a little fun, spend that hour with us, and then show up on Wednesdays and get a little bit of a knowledge along with some fun. So until next time.
Real quick, can y'all stay on real quick after we go off? I just want to talk to y'all behind the scenes.
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. So until next time, I want everybody to be safe. Have a great week. And as always, keep it real out there.